Hi guys, it's Andy, the GScript dude, and another video. It seems like you can't do it normally, but wait a minute. Bing! See, these bars are put across these markers. I've marked them with XX, but actually the trigger for the start and end of the markers are hashtags. And then in the scene we've got the main scene, and we got a text label there. Look at that. It's like nothing interesting really, but you can see that we've got a hash in there. Okay, like if we go here, we click on that, one, that icon, it expands it out, and you could use anything really. It's just a marker. I call it a token to start and end this effect on the text in the label or the rich text label. It's just a plain text label in this one. This is just cut and pasting from lorem ipsum. It's like Latin text. You can just cut and paste from the web to test out things where you need a lot of text, and then just random text. That's what we've done. So see that we got our a hash, right? So normally it would just display text. Let's run it again, just check what it does. See that? It takes a bit of time because it's a very slow algorithm, this one that I've done. And it just puts this bar across. How do we put the bar? We are creating a line 2D in code. So let's look at our code. Where do we find this line 2D? It is, there you go. Where is it? Somewhere here. Oh, okay, let's just walk through the code. Why not? This extends the control. This is our main thing there. And, oh, okay, we've got an export var, which specifies which token we're going to use. What do we start and end our section of text with to mark where we want to implement our customization of the text? Let's click there, and then we can look over here. I always have this so narrow at the side. Expand it out a bit. Come on. And then you can see it's called token. Notice how even though we've got it lowercase there, the editor makes token. It makes it like more user friendly. It makes it like the first character is uppercase. Yeah, and then we have our token, which we could edit. I'm leaving it as this hash because yeah, you choose basically a character which you are not going to use again, are you? You're not going to use in the normal text of your scene. So you could use exclamation marks or whatever you want to use, or like ticks, backticks, and that kind of stuff. Anyway, going to the code, I've just put some comments there because I'm sharing this code and people can read the comments and my Git thing. And alright, so we exported our token there, and then I've worked on this almost all day long. Actually, it's crazy because it's almost kind of useless for most people, but yeah, it took a lot of time to get this to work. But I wanted to. I got this motivation. I just wanted to do it. I have to work out how to do this. Because some people said it can't be done. It's impossible. So that's my motivation. I just got it done. It works. It's a solution here. And in it, the states, okay, this is like something I came up with towards the end of it. I've got states of what is going on. Maybe I need to come back to this because we split it into chunks, okay. The text box is got here like early optimization. Oh my god. So we got hbox $. That's another trick, isn't it? Instead of going get node, we we got like $1 and then HBox text. This is that one. This is the thing full of the text which we cut and pasted of the, you know, the Latin stuff. So we call that text box because we're going to reference it many times. All right. So we got var text box, and then we're going to get our chunks of text, stuff that is before our marker and the text that includes the markers from the start to the end, and then the next one which is not including them, then any more which does include them. Okay, so we got our chunks. We got our chunks, and then to get them we split them according to the token, which is going to be our hash there. Hey, let's run this code. Why not? Let's do some debugging. This is how to debug it, right? This is going to be a long video if I do this. So we run it pretty quickly, and you can check out the chunks come up as a. Ooh, I should probably. Can I magnify this? Oh no, I can't. Sorry about that. I can't magnify it. I can only magnify the code. See the chunks? It's got like 11 of them. Is it 11? Crazy, man. What we can do is we can move this up, and then we can get them. See, it's got all the sections of code. First of all, oh yeah, this is pretty interesting, isn't it? Like, I've got these nums. Ignore, right? Ignore. It means ignore the first kind of thing. Like, which is empty. This is nothing as well. Lorem is just a word. This is nothing. On this one, XX, I've marked them in the code itself, where this is part of the text that I want to extract. XX is just a marker because I already stripped out the hash. Can we go back? Let's go back. God, I'm rambling, aren't I? Let's look at this. What are we looking at? We're looking at the text. See, I've got hash there, lorem. I didn't do it for that one actually, but this one I've gone XX. So when these are stripped out, I can still recognize where the important stuff was. So I got XX versatibulum tupis XX. Yeah, remember that. It's important. This is gonna be the first one, index 0, and this will be the next one, index 1. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be complicated. What are we doing? Anyway, I'm a bit lost. Where was I? Let's go. We stopped. Where did we stop? Hey, click there. Oh, that's good. I just clicked there and we're back. Alright, so we got our chunks. Chunks. See that? Nothing there. And then lorem. And this one. And then this number 3 is that one I tagged with XX, right? So what do we do? We it's pretty complicated. What are we doing? Okay, I'm going to have to edit this because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh yeah, we paused there. Jesus. I'm gonna have to stop because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Pause. Okay guys, we got our chunks and we loop through the chunks here. So what we do, we're gonna split the chunk into words. We split them on the spaces. Every word will have a space between it. So and then we're gonna loop through the words. There we go. And then to start with, when we first start this, the line, we're gonna have this concept of the line. It'll like assemble the words into the lines and try to work out the size of each line, right? So it starts off as nothing. If it's nothing, we're going to have to add the first word. So we're going to take our first index, which is going to be the n equals 0. That'll be the first word, and then otherwise we will add on the word to our line with a space. That is what the next line here is doing. Okay, so next, how do we measure the size of this in the scene, in the label? What we do, we create a new label. We make an instance of a new label here. Then we add it to our, what we do, we have a canvas node there, which will take it out of the space of this control node scene, which would mess about with the size of it. So this allows for something completely independent. So this label will resize itself automatically to the size of it, but it takes a little bit of time. We make it invisible because we don't want it to show up in the scene, but it still works as per resizing. And we set the label text to line there, and it doesn't immediately change. If we immediately try to check the size, it's going to be 0, like no size at all. So we're going to do a yield here. We get tree in the idle frame. This will pause execution until the next frame in the 60 hertz update or whatever it is comes around, and then it will have its actual size allocated. So then we're going to grab that size of this label to L size, and then we don't need this label anymore. If we kept it, it will stay at the same size, so we're going to get rid of it. We're going to go label.q3. That eliminates it, but we've captured our size at L size there. Now if the size so far in the X direction, horizontally, is greater than the box width, we got the box width earlier somewhere, because that's the size of our H box there, the width of it. So if it's, what the hell? Anyway, it's sorry, the text box here. If it's greater than this width, it means if that text is greater, we copied this text to the label, and if it's wider than this, then it's a new line. We detected a new line situation. So we're going to save our before size before we do anything, because there's a concept of the start point of our line. I'm not explaining that very well, am I? Anyway, a new line, the position, the pos value, we're capturing that. It's like the vertical position of the character in the text box. So we're going to go with L size Y, and we add 3 because that's a tweak. I don't really like that so much, but it's actually necessary to get the correct result. Maybe there's a better way to do it, I don't know, but the actual line spacing, I guess, is 3 pixels, but I don't know where to get that from. And we also need to reset the line, which is an accumulation of all the words along the horizontal axis. Because we've gone to a new line, we want to make the new line reset to just this current word. And then we advance the pointer of the number of words, okay, to the next word there. And then we check our state. There's 3 states. There is ignore, start, and end. Sorry, this is complicated, but that's the way it is. It's just how it worked in the end. If the state is ignore, that means we've been advancing through characters that precede our marker for the area that we want to highlight. So So state ignore it. That means we're moving towards the start state, the start of this area. See, now I set the state to start if the state is currently ignore. And the size before, we need to remember how big it was before we got to this point. So we said size before there. It'll come in handy later. Otherwise, we are inside of our capture area, and we are looking towards the end state, the end of our capture area. Oh, this is probably looking terribly complicated, but it does work. Points that depend. Oh, what am I doing? Yes, we need to save the start point. Okay, so points depend on this pos. Our points are like a collection of all the points of start and end of each line. We're gonna add the lines later, line 2Ds later. Okay, go to the next place, and then here we're gonna check. I've added a note here about controlling the state at the end of the current chunk processing. Like we've already done it there for start, but the start won't be looked at here. But if it was state ignore, we're just going to go to the next place, size before, remember it, and the state is start. We're going to look for the start next, and then we're going to action it there. But if not, if we already started, then it must be we're looking for the end positions. So we're going to go pos x equals this, L size x, and then we got to the end of it. Oh, sorry, this point is reached after we've exhausted our words. There we go. Yeah, while words, that one. We've gone through all the words in this current section. Okay, so if the state was ignored, then we're going to move to start, or otherwise we were moving through the words in the section where we were looking for the end, and we got there. So this pos x equals that. Is the size of the label that is accumulating the words during this section. So we append this point in there, and then we move to the state of ignore because we've just gone through the section we were trying to grab, and now we're going to move on to the words in the rest of it. Then finally, we've exhausted all of these chunks. So we're done. We've got everything we need, and we're going to go through the points while those points but there's 2 points for every line, so it's not as simple as just going through through a range or something. We're going to start at 0 index, and we're going to take 2 points at a time, right? So we're going to index 0 and then keep looping until we're up to the size of all the points. And then the next line here is we're going to add 1 to the current index value to check if it's still less than the point size, because we want 2 points. We don't want to overflow. And then we're going to actually make the line now, make a new line 2D and set its width, and add the first points from the points array of index, and then add the next point because we already tested it's okay, we didn't overflow. Then we add it as a child to the T box, which we reference here. This is the text box there. And going back down, then we just loop through and do all of them, and that adds all the lines to our text box. Very cool. What do you think? Yep, so let's run it again just to remind you what it does. See, it takes quite a bit of time, doesn't it? like about 3 seconds, but you can see that this is aligned with that X and the XX. This is aligned, and I put in some tests for like the end of the text area and then the beginning, so it's all perfectly working. This is just to add line 2Ds. You could do anything you like, because these points are developed around. Actually, I can't see very well, can we? Too small. Anyway, you could like do all kinds of things. You could like put like a ring around them, like all kinds of effects based on the knowledge that you've got of the positions. Well, anyway, this is a really like specialized topic and something challenge I wanted to do, and I'll link below to the code for the images, and hopefully you liked it, and if you did, so hopefully subscribe. And this is like an unusual topic, and I'm probably going to do something completely different in the future, nothing like this probably, but I just wanted to put it out there. And have a great day. Yeah, cheers.